A few years ago, I thought that I had it all and there was something missing from my life. So I ended things with the guy who treated me like a princess and would have been the best husband to me. And I started chasing this feeling that was never matched.
That unexplained feeling that she could do better, that's called hypergamy. Red pill guys have been talking about it for years. It's the woman's biological need to always look for the best possible mate she can find. A lot of women are always looking to trade up. It's biology, it's psychology, it's in their DNA, it's science. It's also one of the reasons why a lot of modern women will never be truly happy.
This guy has it spot on. It's hypergamy in action. Honestly, I feel bad for women. It's not their fault they're built that way. It's just evolution's work. Hypergamy affects all women. So how do you work around hypergamy? Do you remember the bases that I've always mentioned? Looks, money, status, game, frame? The last one solves this problem. Do you mean money doesn't solve hypergamy? Hell no! If you've been paying attention to the world, there are many men who are famous, rich, and handsome as fuck, yet still manage to lose their girl. Will Smith is the prime example of this. Besides being rich, handsome, and hella famous, Will Smith has no frame. Hence, her wife openly cheats on him. It's incumbent upon you as a man that your girl sees the world through your eyes, your frame. She'll be shit testing you early on. That's their way of trying to reassure themselves that you're the best they can do. If you don't pass with flying colors, they're gonna never truly stay with you. They're going to monkey branch to a more competent tree, a better man in their perspective. Here's the thing though, women don't know they're acting this way because of hypergamy. Like this chick in the video. She just has a feeling that there's something missing, even though she's already with a nice guy who could probably make her really happy. That's how vicious hypergamy is. That's just nature. You can't be angry about this. You can't blame women about it either. You just gotta play the game with the information I've been telling you. The sooner you accept this reality, the happier you'll be.
Being a single mom is so lonely. Like, it's so hard to date, first of all. Being a single mom, I'm in the military, so I don't have my family here to help me with my kids. And my kids' dad only does the bare minimum. He only wants them the 4 days out of the month that he has to have them. So I get 4 days a month to myself where I can turn off the part of me that is a mom. Being a mother is actually a huge bonus to who I am because there's just a sense of maturity that we have to have. And men who are like, I would never date a mom right off the bat are already missing out on the fact that mothers just come with like a level of seriousness. And if we're trying to give you our time...
Hold it right there. Mothers come with a level of seriousness because they realize that the playing they did back in their 20s are gonna hurt them and their children now. It's a classic case. Girl who loved to party in her 20s gets pregnant by a Chad, suddenly turns to Jesus, and now looks for something serious and a real man. Don't fall for these shaming tactics, boys.
Your conduct in how you deal with men is very important. You now have children watching you conduct yourself in your relationships, making certain decisions. So it is very, very important for you to be aware of how you conduct yourself in the relationship. Because there's a child.
Exactly. Someone who at least understands the dynamics. I'm not against dating single moms. Go ahead. Nobody will chastise you. However, do you know that you're going into a relationship where you'll be set up as a second option? Yes, because their children will always come first. And you'll never have the authority to discipline the children, but have all the responsibilities of raising them. That's the harsh reality of it.
Your conduct in how you deal with men is very important. You now have children watching you conduct yourself in your relationships, making certain decisions. So it is very, very important for you to be aware of how you conduct yourself in the relationship. Because there's a child.
Something many women forget. Some of them still have OnlyFans account to help support their lifestyle. This will not only do damage to the women, but the children's lives as well. Can you imagine going anywhere and people recognize you because they saw your mom's plastered all over the internet?
I'm not sure why every time I get the slightest bit inconvenienced, bored, sad, really anything, I decide to go to TJ Maxx and spend an ungodly amount of money.
If there's ever a more obvious red flag, that's it right there. You don't want a chick that spends an ungodly amount of money. She'll definitely drain your finances.
It's the damnedest thing, but I don't think I've ever given a man an accurate body count. I don't see the point. Are they the census? Are they the census takers? Why do they need to know my population? And like, also, shouldn't you just be grateful? Like,
Yeah! Shouldn't you just be grateful that she's giving her attention to you after getting ran through by a bunch of guys? Here's the paradox that they're not noticing. If the body count really, and I mean if it really doesn't matter as they claim it, why can't they share it accurately with you? Why are they so offended that you're even asking? It's because deep down, they know it matters. Deep down, they know it affects how they'll be perceived by society. It's massive coping. If she's adamant in keeping her past from you, that usually means it's not pretty. You should bail. These are usually women that don't want to be held accountable for their past actions.
All I'm trying to do is just love somebody's son, but if God wants me to turn off my emotions and catch bodies like it's World War I, so be it.
At least 6 feet tall, is emotionally stable. He's got to make 6 figures for sure, has his finances in order, goes to the gym every day, knows what he wants, isn't afraid to go for that. Is he breathing?
It's quite hilarious how self-aware she is. This is usually the case when women hit the wall. This is also the exact reason why older women, usually the former hot ones, will happily get a guy a couple of years younger than her. That's because their SMVs are now matching. So even though he has nothing going on for him, as long as he's hot, she'll get with him.
So I match with him again, and I see his profile, and it says, I believe that girls who say bro should remain single forever. So I message him, I'm like, hey, what's up, sis? And he unmatched me. So, don't really know what his game is. These men out here, I tell you, they're picky ones,
Well, thank God you said that, right? So you got filtered out. So women can be picky, but men can't? Get the fuck out of here.
Why it's not a compliment when you tell us that we look better without makeup. I'll try to put this very simply. We didn't do it for you. Compliment us on the wings of our eyeliner, on the boldness of our color choices, but remember that just because you have the privilege of enjoying the artwork, that doesn't mean it was painted for you.
Yeah, because as long as you're not a Chad, the makeup, the provocative clothes, the skin exposure, they're not for you. But if you're a Chad, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Get the fuck out of here. Women do it for attention. That's the truth. Let's stop pretending.
I feel like it needs to be said. If you don't like your hot girlfriend posting hot pictures, date an ugly bitch. I'm confused.
Just one of the many tactics women deploy so they can manipulate you into agreeing with their sexual strategy. The sexual strategy being posting provocative pictures of themselves online. Her argument doesn't even make sense. It's just meant to provoke a certain type of emotion from men. It's pathetic.
This morning with some really good news. I was tagged in this post to be a potential sugar baby. And I mean, I was even actually super excited that I was even considered to be a part of this. So this guy's posting about how he wants to take these girls on trips or, spend company with him and pay them for that and then buy them gifts. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds awesome. I would love that. So I woke my husband up and I'm like, hey, look at this. This is awesome. What do you think? And he's like, you're married and you have 5 kids. And I'm like, you guys fucking ruin everything.
So let me get this straight. She wants to be a sugar baby, but she's married. She's married. And she's angry that her husband opposed the idea. I can't say I can't believe this because I've seen this happen too many times already. In most cases, the woman is able to shame their husband or boyfriend into agreeing with the conditions. This is basically like those open relationship type of deals.
He asked me to hang out with him, and he asked me to like go to his house and like hang out there, and that's it. So I feel like I deserve a little bit more than that, you know, a little bit of wine and dine, you know? Prettier than just a house visit, right?
Apparently, this is that same girl from the previous clip. However, she's now single. Good job for the husband. He realized she's for the streets.
Hi guys. I wanted to come on here and do a little single mom dating thing. So anyways, I don't know what's wrong with the whole millennial Gen Z generation, but it sucks. Hi. I'm 28, a single mom, just divorced, and this dating pool is like not it. I've been stood up on dates. I've been canceled on last minute after finding someone to watch my kid, and I don't get it. Like, where's the real people that want a relationship? And
there's a lot to unpack here. Firstly, I know for a fact that there are lots of simps that would gladly take her. So I'm guessing she doesn't want any of them, and her hypergamy dictates she should continue dating the Chads and Tyrones. Secondly, it could be that men are simply waking up to how they're being played in the dating game. That's the thing. The next few years will be harsher for single moms and women in general. Heck, even for single average guys. So you better ramp up your game, boys.
I get paid $31 an hour. I date men above my caliber. So right now, I'm at $70,000 a year. He got to be at $100,000. Why would I want a man that could barely provide the same lifestyle that I could provide for myself?
I want you guys to learn 3 things from this video that you just watched. 1, women are hypergamous. Women never date down or look for a man below them or on their level. They always go at least 30% up. 2, she's a selfish woman. What she's saying is her money is her money. His money is her money as well. That means that she doesn't see any addition. That brings us to point number 3. Let's just say she finds a really nice guy that she gets along with, good heart, good everything, but he makes less than her. Let's just say hypothetically he makes $50,000. Now combine that with her $70,000. That's a household that now earns $120,000 a year and live very comfortably together because they're splitting expenses. But her brain cannot comprehend that. All she sees is his money. Stay away from women like this.
This is another great resource if you want to learn more about women and dating. It's not exactly red pill, but it's pretty practical advice that traditional men used to know. It is exactly how he spoke, it's just plain hypergamy. Men do not care about the income of a woman. In fact, if she's cute or pretty enough, he'll date her even if she works at McDonald's or Starbucks. It almost never happens in the opposite. Here's another clip about it, taken from Jordan Peterson himself.
Right. Women are hypergamous, which means they meet across and up dominance hierarchies. And so if you're a male who's successful in a given hierarchy, the probability that you're going to have additional mating opportunities is exceptionally high. It's an unbelievably good predictor of that.
That hypergamy is a very uncomfortable discussion.
Yes, it certainly is.
That's a big one, though.
It is.
The idea that it defines women's sexual choices by the fact that they want bigger, better. They want someone who's more successful, someone who's higher on the social ladder than what they're accustomed to or what they have now.
Well, what women do is that, like, mate choice is a very difficult problem. So how do you solve it? Well, here's how women solve it. Throw them in a ring. Let them compete at whatever they're competing at. Assume that the man who wins is the best man. Marry him.
It's a biological solution.
It's a biological solution, but it has a cost.
What is the cost?
Well, the cost is polygamy.
The cost is polygamy. That, boys, is why women today will never truly be happy. In a pool of men, only a certain percentage will become worthy enough to date women. These are the really high-value men. When you've got a bunch of hypergamous women and a small number of guys who qualify for the hypergamy, what do you get? Yup, you get a small percentage of Chads and Tyrones dating the majority of women. Polygamy. Why would these men settle for one woman when he can get multiple women at the same time? It's a problem without a solution, and Jordan Peterson sees how it will affect society. My answer to this would be to make women a complement to your life, not the center. Spin plates and don't settle down. Not until you've reached your peak SMV. Work on yourself. Basically, the answer is the red pill.
We've been married over 25 years, and the love and the passion has not stopped yet.
So let me ask you this. What's the secret to a good marriage?
Actually, the secret...
They're dying.
No, the secret to a good marriage is honesty, love, passion, and a lot of nakedness.
What do you think the secret to a 25-year marriage is?
Well, good sex for sure.
I keep having to say this, how important sex is in a relationship. If you have an unfulfilled woman sexually, your relationship is a ticking time bomb. It will end.
Sex is the foundation of all functional romantic relationships.
Being single, Patty?
Yeah, we're over 35.
Barely.
And happy?
Yeah, hey, I do what I want to do when I feel like doing it.
Nobody.
This is what most women are going to look like in about a decade.
You're going to put her in one of the two categories. You either want to hook up, or you actually want her as a partner. You'd like a relationship with her. I would like to know where to find the relationship guys. Where are they? Are they...
They're in the friend zone, ma'am. You know where they are. You're just not attracted to them. Anyway, that's all the time we have for you today, boys. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.